Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
At the bottom of the ocean, I'm at the bottom of the sea. I'll stay down, down. I'm just stuck here in a dream. At the bottom of the ocean, I'm
What's up, knuckleheads?
Hey guys, this is Ken Ramos.
Hello, military community.
What's up, Warriors? I'm Greg.
2020 has been a crazy year.
But along with our friends at Honey and Team Rubicon,
We can help you end it on a high note.
Honey is a free shopping tool that can automatically apply discounts when you shop online.
And Team Rubicon is a veteran-led nonprofit that provides aid to those hit hardest by the pandemic, hurricanes, and other disasters of 2020.
so to support Team Rubicon's amazing disaster relief work,
Honey is donating $1 for every one of you who download and install their free shopping tool.
This mission won't cost you a penny.
In fact, the average Honey user saves more than $125 a year.
and you'll help Team Rubicon help communities in crisis.
What's the catch?
There is no catch.
Honey makes a commission. It comes from the place you shop.
Not from you.
This is a no-brainer.
It's easy.
It's free,
You help donate to a great veteran-led nonprofit.
and you save a bunch of money. Cha-ching.
So this holiday season,
Download and install.
Donate and save.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
join us as we team up for Team Rubicon.
Grooming a horse. Patrick showed us how to groom a horse, and it was just fun. And as we're grooming a horse, we're telling our story.
You get to see somebody.
Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Do you ever have one of those moments where you think, how the hell did I get here? Jeez, what happened to me? I was ruling the galaxy, had a cherry new battle station. I mean, this place had an omelet bar, a straight-up omelet bar. And now look, my former intern's tossing me down a bottomless freaking pit. You know, come to think of it, my whole life has been a series of what the moments. That was my out.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
WTF Nation Radio
Is in the house.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker. Let's roll.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Break them off some. Broadcasting live from the Functional Veteran Center of Excellence. Holy crap, is that Terry in the freaking chats? Oh my god. Wait, hang on, stop. Terry! Holy shit, broadcasting live from the Functional Veteran Center of Excellence. This is 23 November 2020. Man, Terry, where have you been? Man, I haven't seen you in the chats in forever. What you been up to, man? You could comment in the chats if you'd like. Again, don't run away. Bro, I have not seen your vaping ass in forever. What's up, Ice? This last time you called me, man, you were vaping. So, you still vaping, bro? Shit. God damn, Terry. Now that's a name I've not heard in a long time. You remember Terry, right, Mom? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Ice, your host tonight. My bad. I'm totally the formalities. I was just kind of like throwing off the bat, my man Terry. I can smell the blueberry muffin vape from here. But anyways, yeah. So I got Mom in the seat tonight. Flash is out of the net. He's doing some stuff. I guess the reserve stuff going is he's got some extra shit to do and all that. So we'll see what's going on and all that. But I want to welcome you guys to the Monday edition. This is going to be really the only broadcast we're going to have this week, with the exception of possibly a show on Friday with Cos. He might be doing some stuff like that. So this is going to be like a different kind of a show where we're just going to be shooting the breeze. We're going to have a guest coming on, Julia Maki, who's an author from the Tactical 16 publishing group. And she's going to be on here at 2100 or at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for those individuals that don't blah. And we'll be able to get you guys and gals squared away. So, other than that, what did you have a plan? What was the plan that you have today? You brought up an idea about doing something for tonight's show. Mom. And so, what was the idea you said you wanted to talk about?
Pretty much like Thanksgiving with Mom, but just don't burn your house down. Like it's like a Martha Stewart version,
so you want to have
maybe a little bit.
Man, if I had known that, I would have been able. Yeah, I'd have been able to flip up some cams and so we can fire up the yams and I could just like no, for real. I was just thinking like, man, this would have been cool to like sit there because I had talked about with you guys setting up a camera so that way we can do cooking, because I want to cook some stuff and have the audience listen in.
I mean, that would be awesome.
Yeah, so
tacos, turkey.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the default, of course, I'd show everybody how to. I don't know. I have to talk to my mom though to see if I have to clear her for some of these secret ingredients and recipes for some of the delicacies that I've had growing up. I know I will definitely get in trouble if I reveal the family secrets of pozole, tacos de carne asada, and yeah, I would definitely get some in trouble with that. But at any rate, what was I gonna say? So are you ready for Thanksgiving? Are you good to go for Thanksgiving?
I think so. I think I have all the ingredients. I don't think I need to, go brave it out at Walmart or Kroger's or whatever, grocery stores around here. So I think I'm good to go. We'll see. Like, we'll see. Because honestly, like on Thanksgiving, if you are going to be out of something, you're kind of like shit out of luck because all the stores are going to be closed.
I'm noticing a large fan it's almost like a fad type of food stuff. Some individuals are talking about not eating pumpkin pie, which is sacrilege if you don't eat pumpkin pie on Thanksgiving. It's also when people say they shouldn't be eating this, and it's sacrilege for that. And I can't wait to see the results of what you're planning on. So, real quick, what's your typical menu when you cook, or when you
when I cook? Let's see here. We do a turkey. I mean,
right.
Who else doesn't? But I brine my turkey for 24 hours. Like tomorrow, my turkey is going to go on a brine, soak that liquid up, get nice and juicy. I will take the turkey out on Wednesday to kind of let it sit, settle, whatever. And then once like Thanksgiving happens, normally I smoke a turkey, but since we kind of PCS'd up here back to Cincinnati, we just, I don't have a smoker right now. So it's going to go in a roaster. And I'll just put that on like a low roast and let it roast for several hours. And it's like the key to a really Joyce. Did
you just say Joyce? You're trying to mix moist juicy and juicy? Is that what you're trying to say? Really? No, that's the new lexicon tonight from the Functional Veteran Center. A new Joycey. If you want some Joycey, no, I didn't say I'm from Jersey. I said Joycey, which is a combination of moist and juicy.
I was thinking moist is that like makes spanky like tingle, and then juicy at the same like
jerk.
Joyce.
Jerk juicy. Is that what you just said? Boy, you're just like really digging the culinary innuendo and euphemisms here. Go ahead, continue.
Anyways, brining is the way to go. I'm just saying. What I do is I use an apple cider, a 6-pack of Shiner. Like turkey gets drunk while it's in the cooler. Put the turkey in there, like in a plastic bag, like a clear plastic bag, like not like your normal scented trash bag. It's like one of the recycling trash bags or whatever. There's no scent to it, whatever. Put the turkey in that, put it in the cooler, pour your apple cider on it, your beer. I prefer Shiner Bock. And then on top of that, I will add a little bit of water, some kosher salt, maybe about a cup or two, some sage, some, peppercorns, and I just put it all in there, just let it sit for 24 hours. And then, of course, I put, ice on top of the turkey because nobody wants, somebody having the shits after leaving your house. So let that sit there, make sure it stays cold, and then once
I'm not thinking of anybody having the shits when they leave my house after eating my chow. That's up to, you know what I mean? If you have a weak constitution to not handle the chow that I'm about ready to present to you, then that's on you. But go ahead.
I was kind of thinking more like the salmonella type.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All
anyways. Right. So, and then once it's, the 24 hours it's been there, I pull it out, let it kind of sit for a little bit, and then I put it, normally I would smoke it, like I said, but this year we're just putting it in a roaster, and then I'll roast it for, several hours, depending on, I couldn't really give you the math right now how big of the turkey. I have like a 20-pound turkey. I've always had a 20-pound turkey because, like, everyone here, like, they eat, like, the leftovers will be gone probably by next Tuesday.
Yeah, that's actually some of the best part is the leftovers.
Yes.
The leftovers are the best part. I don't mind. I'll have. Actually, that's when I get salmonella. Is when I like make leftovers go as long as they can. I will I will have leftovers going and going and going.
Do the sniff test?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'll like, yeah, and then I'm thinking, some bacon grease would be nice with this. Let me mix a little bit of that. And wait, let me put this some more salt in here, or then I'll make I made one time I made some shredded turkey tacos, and I could, of course the legs and the bone, but the little ones, they either they can smell better than me or something like that, or I really got a bad case of the Rona a couple times, but I can smell before, of course. Because they say you lose your. Can we talk about Rona again? You lose your sense of smell and taste. And the kids are like, after a couple days on eating some of the chow, like, I don't like it. I'm like, well, what's wrong with it? It smells bad, Dad. I'm like, it doesn't smell bad to me. And then I eat it and they go, ew. They're like, oh, it's gross.
How would it suck to not be able to taste or smell anything right now?
Oh my God, dude, could you imagine?
Like all the fixins and all the the pumpkin pie and like all the desserts, like you cannot taste it. That would so suck.
Right. I mean, it would suck because due to the fact that it's from what I've asked people. Hey, what does it taste like? Is it what does it smell? When you say you can't smell or taste, what is it? What does that sensation mean? What is that? Is it like plastic? Is it like because when you get like a bloody nose or something like that, and
like that copper
metal,
smell?
yeah, that metal taste and smell. Do you get yeah, exactly. Yeah, Pip just said that you're going to poison the guests, your guests.
Well, unfortunately this year I'm not having guests, so I guess my own family.
Oh, just okay.
Better update the wills, I guess.
Yeah, SGLI, DD93s and shit, all that, whatever.
I mean, because
I know you got yeah, exactly. But no, I couldn't even imagine. I mean, do you know people who've had the Rona and said that they can't taste or something like that, or what they taste like?
No, I have my aunts and cousins have had it, but I'm not that close to them for them to tell me what was going on, so I don't know. I don't know. I haven't one friend of mine, she could not taste anything, but she was really sick, so she really didn't eat either. So yeah, it would suck not to be able to taste anything.
Yeah, I couldn't. I like to eat. I'm sorry. I am a food enthusiast. I like to eat chow. I like to cook chow. I'll snack on stuff. I'll have friends that would like to throw some recipes at me. Hey, look what I made. Oh, look at this. What do I think about this? And I will.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah, no, you've actually done that. You've sent me food pictures. You're like, what do you think of this, Ken? I'm like, well, we start arguing over each other's recipe bits and stuff. I'm like, I'm not gonna have, that's whatever. But teach his own. The whole thing about the Thanksgiving drama going on right now. All right, and this is gonna become, I don't know. This is not quasi-political, but whatever. I guess it's been a big deal. People talking about not going to go see your families. There's been some chatter out there about units not letting their soldiers not able to see their families, but yet they're telling them to go do unit. I guess there's a meme out there that was posted by our own staff over Twitter. It says when it's not okay to go home for Thanksgiving, but it's okay to go home to football games, to go to watch football games, and they're talking about the West Point cadets watching football games in crowded stadiums.
That's kind of messed up.
Yeah, so and then all the leave forms of excellence, the cover sheets that go across the
they want literally every detail to the point where you're going to go to the bathroom on your trip.
Right, exactly.
Did you go number one or number two?
Yeah, and it sucks because we're not going to have Sergeant's time. We might have some videos, or me and Spanky might do some joke videos or something like that on Thanksgiving for Thursday for Sergeant's time, because Sergeant's time falls on Thanksgiving. I don't know. There's not going to be a show, so we'll be eating it up. You'll probably sit and see me wolfing down some food, and or I might throw some pics up. Who knows? But I'm kind of like I'm not liking this. You can't go see your family. Everyone's recommending that.
For me, with Thanksgiving, we've never went and saw our family because we've always been so far away. Come, by the time we would take leave, come, do Thanksgiving and then go back to Texas, what's the fucking point?
Right.
We would always wait until Christmas, but even at Christmas, we always sit and come back. So a part of me is when I see your normal people, civilians out there complain about not being able to see their family, I'm just sitting here like, okay, well, suck it up, Buttercup. I've done it for 15 years.
Do you? Ooh, that's a good point. We're having a fight in the chats about which meat is better. Ham. Heath says, the Narcissist Center of Excellence, that ham is better than turkey. Fight me. And then Pitt goes, venison beats all. Fight me. I'm gonna tell you what, venison is good.
It depends how you cook it though. On venison, like if they know how to cook it. I'm just saying.
If you know how to cook it and season it. Venison is the only meal the only beef beef, get it? Is the venison is the only beef. Venison is the only.
We'll just put it together.
Yeah, just like Joyce, Joycey. It just you can't do medium well on fucking venison. You have to cook it good. If you don't, if you will jack you'll get worms and shit. You'll start growing antlers or something. if you try to.
We'll have to say like this Thanksgiving we are adding a roast of venison because
nice.
2 weeks ago we got a deer. So.
I was about to say I remember you talking about that. That's pretty cool. See, that's awesome. I don't know. I'm not in tune to the whole. Hey, or wild pig is good too. I don't understand. The whole. I don't know, to keep people away from Thanksgiving. I don't know what you want to risk. What would you risk? Would you risk going and go see a family member that you may not see again? Because that's what I'm dealing with. Because
that's same here. Like I've got several family members fighting cancer right now. Late stages of cancer.
Yeah, or there are of of elderly ages, and you don't want to say, hey, sorry, I listened to what's his name, Como or something like that. Oh, see, we're gonna get freaking.
I know we're trying
to talk about this stuff, but we're trying to keep it simple and Thanksgiving-y and Joycey. But we were. But we're kind of facing like a conundrum here. Bob says just watch the games and have some snacks. That's right. Just don't define the snacks. That's a good one too. I could see that. I know. Me and Baby Ice. There's we have places, and we're gonna hang out with a little bit of family, so that way we're not alone in the Thanksgiving Center of Excellence. Rabbit stew's awesome, exactly. Matt Morris has got to hunt the pig. Some people buy them already prep. Yeah, raccoon. Yeah, exactly. Raccoon and 3 Cletus for life. William Wallace is 3 Cletus.
Wait, what Cletus? No, we can't eat Cletus.
No, not the dog. I'm just saying 3 Cletus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can make some venison. Yeah, if I will. Yeah, let's get some venison. I'll make some tacos. Ooh, venison asada. Yeah, there you go. That'll be some tacos. I would think venison, really good prepped and seasoned venison meat would probably taste good with corn tortillas, and it would be so freaking
what if you did it like al pastor, where you let it marinate for a while?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And get the yeah.
And Spanky's missing out on this discussion.
I'm waiting for her to swoop on this freaking conversation like she likes to do with her snack combos. And discuss this stuff, but no, you're right. No, I was just curious how you felt about that, and your family. You have family members too that, like I said, they're of age or of conditions, to where you could end up being a, you could be. I mean, the last time you see them.
Yeah, like we could see them for Thanksgiving and bury them by Christmas, but
right.
I mean, what kind of also stinks is I have COVID Carl. He's 6 months now. This is his first Thanksgiving. He'll be his first Christmas, and like half my family is missing that. And the thing is we're here, we're at home. Part of it's like they shouldn't have to miss it. Whereas if we were, stationed somewhere else, if that makes sense.
Right. No, it's just hard to. Jambalaya, man. Ooh, jambalaya with rabbit. Ooh, I've had it with quail too. No. I'm kind of partial, and I don't want to get our broadcast with the COVID tag identified already on it, because people get butthurt. But I just don't think that if you were able to have all these individuals celebrate an election, if you have all these individuals that are out there protesting, if you have all these individuals that were doing rallies pro and against D. Treasy, then we're talking about spikes and all sorts of shit and all that. You're not gonna. The country is telling you to place the country over your family. I kind of draw the line on that one.
I agree. To me, it's like you're.
Yeah.
you're an American, just do what you want,
I
go
kinda
and
draw the
do
line.
whatever.
I kind of I have really, I don't know, I have some insane loyalty to the people that I care about, and you get that freaking told, oh, you're not gonna, no, you shouldn't, you should stay home, or you should not. Of course, I am not gonna sit there and say, hey, yeah, no, don't do this or don't do that. Because then the next thing you know, I'm gonna get fucking tired. I said on WTF Nation Radio, and all the Twitter heads are gonna come after me.
My sister, she was like, you know what? This whole, small Thanksgiving is a bad idea. I don't have to go to 3 or 4 different Thanksgivings. She's like, that is 6,000 calories. I can just skip out on that this year. I was like, well, that's one way to look at it.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know. See, oh, and that's another thing too. There's people out there. We can talk about this a little bit because it's Thanksgiving related. There are government agencies out there that are saying that you should rat them out. If you see neighbors, if you see more than like 10, 15 cars in front of someone in your neighbor's house, you should rat them out. I'm gonna tell you what. If you don't mind your business, you're gonna catch some hands. I highly suggest you keep your nose to your freaking self.
Facebook Live it, please.
And I will Facebook Live it. I will Facebook Live it, Twitter Live it, IG Live it, 360-degree Live it. I will tell you straight right up now. If you think that I'm going to sit there and tolerate that type of shenanigans, it's bullshit. I mean, you're really thinking about when you think I'm not going to. If I see a bunch of cars in there, I'm going to knock on the door. If I'm like, because some people still like to celebrate Thanksgiving or a period of days, I'm going to walk over there and say, hey, can I get a plate or something like that? I'm not going to rat nobody out. Hell, as a matter of fact, usually in my neighborhood, a lot of the neighbors will end up passing plates around. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I kind of grew up. That's how, even being, stationed everywhere else, that we've always gave out plates to everyone.
Right. I just don't get the whole thing. You're gonna call the cops on me? Nah, sorry. Family is way fucking more important than what you think is, because you think it's for the greater good. And you know what? We've been dealing with the greater good for the last, since February, and I've lost a lot from the greater good.
Yeah.
A lot of people have a lot of people that I know, to include myself, we have lost a lot. So I don't want to hear this, above and beyond bullshit. You can do that above and beyond bullshit. Of course, we're in the military and doing some shit like that. But when it comes to fucking family, nah. Don't ever compromise your integrity or your principles, nation, on it when it comes to stuff like that. Because I'm telling you what, you're going to end up compromising yourself. And I've got a friend of mine who told me he asked me to drop off a public service announcement. So he said that this Thanksgiving, if you see 20 cars at your neighbor's house and you're thinking about reporting them, go to the fridge and drink a glass of milk. Why? Because milk is good for your teeth. And you know what else is good for your teeth? Minding your own damn business. So thanks, brother. I appreciate that public service announcement. I'm serious, man. This is where I get touchy. Again, you all know me, orderly, disciplined. Above the trying to maintain ourselves according, doing the right thing. Blah 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 blah. But as soon as I hear, somebody knocks on my door, we want to know how come you have 10 cars, 15 trucks, and a bunch of Harleys in your
You're having a funeral.
And I'm like, I'm protesting. That's all I'm doing. I'm protesting, and then I'm gonna have like a card next to the door, so anytime somebody goes to the door and answers the door when the cops arrive, they can flip a bunch of cards.
Protesting.
I'm protesting. Screw that shit.
It's a funeral.
Right. It's
a funeral. Yeah. I like it. But that's the thing, what the government doesn't realize with all the protests and even when I found an article, the CDC said that people can go vote on election day while they were sick and COVID positive, even though the entire time they've been telling people to stay the fuck home. Which, granted, nobody, it is illegal to tell someone no, you cannot vote, and that is why the CDC pretty much said yes, you can go do it. But how can we take it serious? To not have family gatherings, but it's okay for protest and, celebrity or, official funerals and all of that stuff.
Well, we can't.
It
was really funny. No, you bring up a good point. The governor of California, Gavin Newsom, He just had a guy. He got caught cold busted, red-handed, eating in a restaurant with no mask with some friends and shit like that. One of his kids got the Rona.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, one of his kids got the Rona. Now, again, I keep going, talking to some of my medical friends and some of the medical people that I know, and they don't want to get in trouble because now there's people like, I can't believe the cancel culture is on the, I almost said Joyce again, Joycey. I can't believe the cancel culture is on the medical community. It's incredible to see that the medical community is actually worried about talking or providing an opinion about something, especially epidemiologists, some virologists, individuals who are experts in bacteria and stuff like that, and they say anything. They don't even want me to mention what they've said because they have said it in professional forums themselves and have been ostracized for or have been given shit. So it's like, I didn't realize it was so canceling of the canceling culture for canceling of excellence. I didn't realize that. Is there cancel culture?
Maybe.
Welcome to my TED Talk, I guess. I'm going to see what's up.
We have a vaccination now that obviously came out right after the election.
Pretty quick. I mean, pretty quick. I mean, it was like nobody knew there was we know that they were talking about this and we're talking about this and there might be a discussion of a thing. I'm not trying to.
They even said like 2 years down the road there would be a vaccination.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, I mean, Rona wasn't around that. But I'm saying, but a vaccine and no, you're right. But they were discussing the timeline
and that long.
Of the walkthrough. Of a walkthrough of what an exact vaccine would work through, and then nobody heard anything for like I don't know what a couple months, and then and then riots happening and shit like that, and the unfortunate incident of George Floyd being killed and all that, and that whole thing just went wow, and then I don't know. And the way I see it is that it was the timing of it. You damn right. Come on, you want to talk about politics? Yeah, I used to work for. I used to work.
To pumpkin pie.
No, I'm saying, but real quick, okay. I used to work for Big Pharma. I know how it freaking works. They use the release of information to manipulate stocks, to manipulate some power moves, some budgeting, some negotiations with the Food and Drug Administration and the ATF and the DEA and yada yada. That they had other agencies on purpose to schmooze them and massage them. They're bringing politics back, baby. That's what it's all about. That is like legit. Now, here's my thing. This is gonna get us. I think Julia's gonna get upset because we're gonna get booted out a couple times before she comes on. So check this out. So now that everybody's anti-vaxxing and saying that no, you need to take your vaccinations. Now that there's Rona, there's like 3 Rona vaccinations. Are you gonna take it? Are you gonna, you gonna sign yourself?
Probably.
Yeah, you're gonna sign yourself up. I know. If you use the VA, we'll probably get duped. The cost of I overheard causes on a show. We're gonna sit there and fucking like walk through and get hey, okay, you go to a flu shot. Pookie said too, you show your VA card at a Walgreens and you'll get or Walmart and you get a free shot. You just like show them your VA card and bam, you get a free immunization shot. And notice they're not saying what it is. Ooh, they're not saying what it is at all. They're just saying, hey, come over here for immunizations. So I tested exactly, anthrax. I tested the theory and I said, hey, what immunizations you got? What do you need? You got a VA card? Yes. Well, according to HIPAA, I was like, Walgreens has HIPAA? What the hell does Walgreens need to be cool? What immunizations you got? You said, I heard on the radio, obviously, pumping us up. I heard on the radio that if you show your card here, you get, oh yes, you can, sir. You can just bring it here. All right, cool. Then you get immunized and you have all these immunizations. All right, this is what I'm talking about. Right. Okay. So what immunizations do you?
Sure, it might be the same way with TRICARE too.
And then we'll be like, what immunizations did you have? I'm sorry. What would you say? What immunizations? Yeah. What immunizations do you have? Yeah. Look it over there. Well, no. But what immunizations? All of them that fit in the refrigerator. No. But what immunizations do you have? Well, we have several types. Do you have a child? Anyway, I hung up. I was like, Walgreens is asking you questions back very ominously. You're kind of like, So I'm thinking,
Are they trying to fill out like a form out for the VA? Like
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's
a prompt.
Yeah, they were just asking weird questions when I called. I'm gonna record. is it HIPAA? Is it illegal to record, in your interactions? Well, no, it isn't, because every time you call a number, they say what? They say this phone call could be recorded for quality assurance purposes and to make sure that you don't sue us. That kind of.
With HIPAA, they cannot disclose your name, your condition, what your diagnosis is. Like they cannot give out your specific medical information along with your name.
Oh no, I'm just messing around. I'm just messing around because people throw that term around like loosely that nobody knows what the hell it means. Yeah. I'm not gonna. If the military has
usually when they throw around loosely, they can't even get the acronym right.
Right. Well, we're right. Not to mention the fact that when I ask questions about this, and they're like, "Do you have this?" I'm like, "Yeah." Blah 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 blah. Like, okay, so you don't have to tell us that's HIPAA. I'm like, really? Is it? Am I violating HIPAA on myself? I mean. Meanwhile, the VA is ringing the phone off the hook. You need to come get your shot, Sergeant Major. I mean, welcome to the VA. Would you like to get an immunization, please?
You think at this point you would just like maxed out on your vaccinations for the rest of your life?
Yeah, I get credit. I have so much immunizations backed up on my immunizations. I have name them. Cos will tell you, the guys and gals in the chat that have been deployed and have gotten the multi vaccinations of excellence. Yeah, you'll get it. You'll get a bunch. But yeah. Anyways, I'm sorry. I totally did not mean to derail your idea of the cooking with mom. Thanksgiving discussions with, against those little freaking snitching ass chodes that decide to talk crap and talk about.
What's funny?
Wanna bust you out.
Have you seen the memes of like where the turkey, like that little thermometer that it comes with, like if the red thing pops out, it's done. Like I've seen several memes with that. Like they're like, with this red thing, remove it because the government will know how many people you have.
Yeah, exactly. It's the temperature check when the little popper pops out of the turkey to make sure it's ready. Yeah,
Which, by the way, don't trust it. Get an actual meat thermometer to check your meat. And the thigh.
And make sure it's Joycey. It's Joycey.
Joycey, yeah.
Joycey, yeah. Woo, woo, woo!
But it's just, those are funny. Another thing is, guys, as a former firefighter EMT, just don't throw a frozen turkey into a pot full of oil in your garage or on your deck or anything. It just.
Do you know, it's one of those.
You
again.
have to call farmers after that because they've seen a thing or two.
Yeah, well, it's almost like we had discussed before about fads, about cooking fads and stuff like that. All it took was somebody to like, how'd you do that? Oh, I used a fryer. Oh, you really used a fryer? Yeah. And then they start going by and kind of like wondering, well, I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna have that. I should do this and I should do that. And then they want to like be cool. It's like the individuals that like to eat egg white omelets after there's somebody that they like that is cool and respectful. And all of a sudden they have that one guy in the DFAC that orders an egg white omelet. And the next thing you know, all these guys look at each other and go, I want an egg white omelet too. I'm like, motherfucker, I've never seen you. Brother, you barely do your push-ups, man. You're talking about getting an egg white omelet like you're on some super special operations diet and shit. That's what happened. You see
Maybe
that
they
shit.
have to watch the cholesterol.
Praise.
That's what I was gonna.
So the
cholesterol.
David Cholesterol of the Turkey Davidians.
Mom is a fun. Yeah, I am a fun sucker.
Yeah. Oh. Whoa. Okay. At any rate, those fads and you're right. Those fads of individuals that like to immediately throw boiling. You take some time. As a matter of fact, you should be thawing your turkey out right now. If you have what?
Oh, mine's been thawing out since like 3 days ago.
Oh, okay.
But I'm ahead of the game. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think that if isn't it now tell me, since you were, because you were more, is it, I don't know if I can say this because people are going to freak the fuck out, but I'm going to say it. Is it sexist to say that most women are the ones that are the major preparers of the turkey and stuff like that? I remember when I was growing up, my mom, man, she kicked me out of the freaking kitchen. She not want anybody messing with the chow.
Yeah, like honestly, like me growing, like we all, like, I had all sisters. I didn't really have like little brothers until my mom got remarried. But we were always in the kitchen helping, cooking, whatever. I mean, I want to say sexist. I mean, like Nathan wants to help this Thanksgiving, the boy, and his dad has always helped with, he always smoked the meat. Like it was kind of like he did the whole thing. Mom, I think this is a boy turkey. Sorry, cause threw me off there. But to me, it's always like I like it. Like to me, it is what I like to do, if that makes sense.
Right.
I'm not forced to do it or whatever.
Right.
I love to do this.
Okay. All right. Well, so generally though, I was going to say you have cooking experience because in the one-off, by the way you say something or how I speak or how you write something in the whole world when it comes to context and subtext. People will think that I would just automatically assume I talk to his co-host like he's a misogynist. So I just want to make sure that I say, hey, it's almost like me saying, hey, you've got time in the kitchen. You know how you do. You know what I mean? I see something like that, and people are going to be like,
you need to be barefoot and pregnant too. While you're at it.
Exactly. Yeah, you've been barefoot.
Which I was last Thanksgiving.
I must say, yeah, you were pregnant and barefoot last Thanksgiving. But no, what I'm saying though is that isn't it depending on the size of the turkey, is the amount of time that you should have? Like, when's a good time to do it? When's a good time to start thawing the turkey? At what size? What different poundage do you have?
That's a good question. I can't give you that off the top of my head. Like I said, my turkey is 20 pounds. It's been in my fridge since Tuesday.
Okay.
Last Tuesday. What is today? Monday? No, last Tuesday. Thursday. I'm sorry. COVID Carl's been sick today. My mind is just blah. So yeah, last Thursday is when I put it in the fridge. So usually they recommend a week before you decide to prepare your turkey is when you put it in the fridge.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
And so it's a prepare because the frickin' CDC is all talking and everybody else is talking. The Department of Health and Human Services got involved with they suggested that the safety guidelines, the best time to thaw a turkey is in a refrigerator that is 40 degrees Fahrenheit. No shit. Where else would you thaw it? The best place is... Well,
I've thawed it in the sink and then put in I've kind of been sketchy on some shit before.
Right. So turkeys need about 24 hours in the refrigerator for every 4 to 5 pounds.
Yes, it sounds about right.
Okay. All right. I've never seen anybody like specifically have a ratio to it. It's always been, my mom was like,
just a week before.
Yeah. She's just like, oh, I gotta get the turkey out, and then she gets the turkey and all that, and then me when I've cooked Thanksgiving meals, I have had some culinary experience in cooking myself and myself some and I do like or when I have someone over that I want to cook for that, or I have some of my soldiers over when I was I would bring some Joes over and stuff like that, and I'd cook and I'd teach them how to cook chow and stuff like that. I would do the same thing. I'd be like, immediately some of like the reminders of my mom would be the reminders of when it's time for me to cook. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go. Oh, I gotta get the stuffing ready. Oh crap! And my first turkey when I first cooked it.
Was it raw?
No. It came out immaculate. I had lemon pepper. I decided to use a lemon pepper base, and my mom, of course, was over the phone and making sure I was doing it right. A lemon pepper base, butter crusting marinade over it, so like it turned it like really like brown and crispy, but with lemon pepper all over it, and it was really freaking good, right? And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm the man, and I'm gonna do this, and I had I'm trying to remember which wife it was, but anyways, it was one of them wives, and I had it all set up, and I was cooking her chow, and she was all impressed because I was making all this food. I'm like, yeah, woo, I know how to cook some food, and thinking I was all Mr. Man and Mr. King, and then traditionally, then her parents came over, and all this other stuff, and everyone was like, oh, that kid cut the turkey. Oh God, this is so awesome. You know how to cook turkey. That was my German family is what it was, and so Germans were going off and like tripping out because they've never had an American Thanksgiving meal. So I was doing it up. I did the stuffing just like Mom used to make. I did everything just mashed potatoes and gravy just like Mom used to make, and made canned yams Mom used to make, and just like awesome. Everything turned out. I mean, it was awesome. And of course, the traditional you always use. I don't know what it is. Always get cranberry. It's always been like a unwritten rule. When people you know the term, like when the fat lady sings, you smoke a cigar after you've been like in an intense firefight or something like that. Well, it's the same thing with there's one family tradition that we have. I'll tell you guys real quick. Is a real secret family secret. Hang on, shh, nobody look. All right, hang on. All right, real quick, everybody gather around real quick. Okay, real close. All right. So traditionally, what we always did is that we always had the cranberry sauce in the can, and we pushed the can out so that way it had the little ridges and stuff like that. That way we can measure out amongst the kids who had the cranberry sauce. I don't know, anybody who doesn't like not like cranberry sauce is a freaking communist. And so don't laugh at my traditions. Okay. Oh, thank you, Kaz, for reminding me of that. Thank you, Kaz. So the turkey, it came out, and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, oh man," they're all like, you know, all my German family, and then you know my German wife.
Oh, turkey stuff that would be good.
It would be interesting. Oh, it's kind of smell though. The smell could be, I can imagine after you put. But anyways,
I mean, honestly, you really shouldn't stuff your turkey because that kind of like.
So
adds salmonella to your seasoning.
Right. So no, but what's funny is that like I said, this is my first turkey I've ever fucking made, and I was like, oh man, I'm doing this right, and I'm kind of nervous because you know a lot of people, you know, especially Germans are real freaking food snobbies and shit when it comes to like wine and food, and it's prepared if it's done right, and all this other stuff, and they look at you and they you know, you ever it's like it's that look, and then, like I said, so
I'm German too.
Yeah. So the German family is is this supposed to be like this? And you're like, oh yeah. I'm thinking in my mind, shit, is this supposed to be like that? And then anyways. So my what was my mother-in-law, my ex-mother-in-law? She was like, "Oh, Ken," and she like reaches into the turkey, and I totally fucking forgot to put the goddamn stuffing in there. But you know what I also forgot to do?
the innards.
I forgot to take the innards out. So I had all these innards cooking and roasting, and she goes, "Oh my God, this is so awesome the way you did this." I'm like, huh? What? And then I was really embarrassed. And I'm like, what the hell? And she pulled the innards out, and she's like, "This is so good. Oh my God." And it was like a bunch of freaking raccoons, and it was a bunch of like raccoons in a dumpster. Like they opened up the freaking innards and were like, "Oh, this is so good. The way you prepared this is so good." I'm like, I was like sweating it, man, because I was like really worried that I was going to embarrass my honor, my family honor, stuff like that. And then everyone's eating and all that stuff. And then, I because, obviously I was able to call my mom and call my family overseas. And my mom was laughing so freaking hard. She's like, "You left the innards in there?" I'm like, "Yes, ma'am." She's like, "Oh my God, that's so funny." I said, "But they ate it. They ate it prepared the way they were eating it. It was almost like it was like their own. It was like they're like, "Oh yeah, this is so good, Ken. This is some good." And I'm like, holy shit, this is awesome. I was like, so my error in my ways, I stumbled upon this new discovery, and then I'm thinking, oh man, Mom, see, I'm the G, man. I know what's up. And she's like, no, you could cook it that way too. I'm like, oh. Okay.
So speaking of innards, have you seen the video of the little boy like cleaning out the turkey in the sink, and he pulls out the neck, and he thinks it's like the penis.
Yeah, he thinks it's I saw that.
And he's like gagging.
he's like, "What's that?"
He's like, "Oh."
Exactly. That was that turkey's packing pretty big there. Exactly.
Mom is in the back.
But it was.
I would be the same. I would be dying.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, so it was funny because my mom, because my mom knew that I was nervous because it was my first cooked. I was gonna cook my first Thanksgiving meal ever, and I paid attention in the kitchen, and I with the cooking and stuff like that. So I could say I would be considered an okay cook, but exactly that cause it's like you're judged when you're the chef. You are judged. And Germans judge the hell out of you. I'm surprised they didn't pull out any tape measures and go, yeah, this turkey is a little bit low on this. It must be 2 centimeters higher. Yeah. And I expected that.
They might get out the pocket thermometers or anything.
Yeah. They're like, oh, yeah, this is wrong. But that they thought that the cooking of the innards in the back, and luckily, the innards were were good. I mean, they were good. I mean, fuck, they looked good, really good. And I was sweating it. I was just kind of like. Whew, man, that was my. I'd never been so nervous and freaking, out of everything out of salt. You'd fight a man to the death for the neck. Like I said, they ate it. they were happy. They thought it was cool. So, but again, my mom kind of clowned me a little bit. So love you, Mom, but my mom kind of clowned me a little bit. Now, she's like, "Oh my God," and then she even started laughing even harder when I said they ate it. They ate it just like that, Mom. And she's like, "Oh my God, it's so awesome. You should have let it in there." So I'm like, "See, Mom, I know what's up." And she's like, "No, you could do that too." I'm like, "Oh, damn it! Here I thought I was fucking what's his name, Emerald or something like that. The guy who goes bam or whatever and yells at everybody, yells at a turkey or something. Emerald. I said Emerald.
Emerald.
I sound like I was from Kentucky. You ever watch that TV show with Emerald? Yeah.
Network.
Yeah, on that network right there, it looked like he sure can cook up some shit. I can't touch that sauerkraut, man. Mom's got me beat on that. Nope. Cannot. Nope.
Your mom or me?
No, my mom. Mama Ice.
Oh, okay.
I don't. When it comes to that stuff, when it comes to some of that cuisine of the of that side of the family, they know how to do it. Yeah, it is a feat. I don't even mess with that stuff. My luck, I end up freaking, I'll end up
botulism.
Yeah, botulism. Can you mess up?
You guys have Botox now.
Yeah, exactly. Can you mess up freaking sauerkraut? I don't know.
Canning it, yes, you can. But I mean, cooking it, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I got the article pulled up here it was just a little tip on one of these foodie freaking articles, and it's just kind of funny. I was while we were talking, I played a little bit of my headphones. I'm like, I'm not gonna play the sound because the guy's like, Thanksgiving is a little different in 2020, but today's the day for turkey. I'm not gonna play that. Because then but anyways, so typically turkeys need about 24 hours, like I said before, in the refrigerator for every 3 to 4 pounds. And it's not the only way you can thaw the turkey. So allow 30 minutes per pound for cold water thawing, and then change the water every 30 minutes until the turkey is thawed. And that's what
Who has time for that?
Yeah,
though?
I was about to say, I just leave it.
Just put it in the fridge.
Yeah, you are flat dicking right now if you did not pull that turkey out right now.
You're going to be doing it for every 30 minutes.
You're going to be doing it for every 30. You're going to put that thing in the microwave just to make sure. Because you're going to be like, son of a bitch.
Speaking of microwave, a few years ago, there was a whole thing about sending a picture to your parents or your mom about microwaving a turkey to thaw it out or to cook it. And I sent that to my mom. She's like, "Oh no, don't do that. It won't cook." she almost lost her shit. I was like, "Mom, do you really think I would?" I was like, "My turkey will fit in a fucking microwave." I feel like it's the way I am and troll on the internet and and work here. Like, she would know by now I'm not fucking serious about it.
Right. Yeah.
Anyways, I digress. Go on.
Yeah, I digress. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and take a break right quick because we have Julia coming on at the top of the hour while we're playing the music. You guys just just hang out a little bit, and then we'll be right back for our guest and the author. I can't wait to shoot the shit with her. The name of the book is Guardian: Story of the 2020 Civil Unrest in Washington D.C. I got some questions. You guys can think of some questions too, but it has to do with the riots and stuff that happened, civil unrest in D.C.
And I will make sure Ice gets his questions.
Yeah, exactly. So. Make sure you thaw your turkey. All right, we'll be right back. Shots. Take a break.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Take it from me, Ice. You can't just float around space not caring about stuff forever.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Shit in the bag, Pogue. It's 3 a.m. and the sirens are going off. Another rocket attack. I've got my boots and got my ammo in my 50-pound sack. Boys headed to war in this world unknown. The only peace of mind I've got are these letters from home. Another day has come and gone. Another night I'm all alone. I didn't think I'd be this far out here in Kandahar. Well, most of us, we made it home, but we never came back. When we close our eyes at night, we hear a rocket attack. I've tried to talk and tell you about it, but it ain't the same. All these thoughts that run through my head, well, they can't be tamed. Another day has come and gone. Another night I'm all alone. I didn't think I'd be this far out here in Kandahar. Another day has come and gone. Another night I'm all alone. I didn't think I'd be this far out here. We ain't far from Kandahar.
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing. Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
And we're back. All right. With our guest, Julia Maki. I hope I didn't mess the name up. Thank you so much for joining us on the Monday edition.
Thank you so much for having me. You didn't mess it up too bad.
Okay. How is it? How I don't want to mispronounce your name because how do you pronounce your name?
It's Julia Maki.
Oh, Maki.
You're good.
Yeah. Okay. I said Maki like it's like I'm I thrown some Spanish behind it or a Spanish accent. But anyways, welcome to the Monday edition. Well, thank you so much for coming on. You're here to talk about your book, Guardians: Stories of the 2020 Civil Unrest in Washington D.C. So, can you just tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I'm a Navy veteran originally. I was in the Navy for 5 years. I did aviation, so it's a little bit of my background, and had a break in service for 15 years. And then 3 years ago, I joined the Air National Guard. So we had, when everything broke out this past June, the Air National Guard was kind of the last ones activated after the Army, when they had all hands on deck. Everybody needed to get into the city and help out.
Right.
So it was a completely new experience. I was definitely a fish out of water. And so my book kind of goes through that, and it talks about how, beginning of the activation part, and as we go along it, just kind of thrown into this very unusual situation and so much of it was unexpected. And how it kind of ended after, 3 weeks of being up there.
You, the book covers some specific events. What was your mission when you went up? I'm not going to ask because I want people to buy the book, obviously. But what if you can just kind of skirt some of the info there? What was your mission when you were activated to go there?
Well, we were mostly there to keep the peace, to make sure that the monuments were not being destroyed, to protect the monuments, to protect the people, to protect the peaceful protesters from all of the crazy that was going on, all the people that were rioting and carrying on. The Secret Service, they were running out of power with the first couple nights when it was so crazy, and they were lighting fires, and they were almost being overrun as people were trying to make their way to the White House and stuff. So they activated everybody and said everybody needs to get here. So that was, we were just kind of thrown into it, not knowing entirely what our mission was initially, but then as we kind of figured it out as we went along.
Yeah, that's a good question. There's a lot. A good statement. There was a question. There we go. We've been like playing word salad all first half of the show. There was a question. Was it really that bad? Can you give us a little bit of what the sense of feeling when you were there?
Well, so Friday night was the really bad night. It was Friday, May 29th, and George Floyd was killed on Monday. Before that. So, the fires were just kind of getting lit all over the country, starting off from Minneapolis, and it spread across the country, made its way down to D.C. So that night was the night that I was speaking of, where the Secret Service was just being overrun. They were throwing bricks. They were throwing everything they could at them. And a lot of the guys that were already active for COVID duty, they were the first ones out there. They just called them back, and they're like, hey, send these guys in. So they were on it. By Saturday, things were even crazier. So they called more and more, and pretty soon they started activating people from all over the country. So that was the initial crazy of it, I would say. And those were the first couple nights were crazy. I didn't end up going in myself into the city part until Monday. So I missed a lot of the initial part of it. I saw a lot of the crazy people, I guess you might say, were
you could say it. You saw some crazy crap. What were you witnessing?
Everything. so we saw, a lot of great people that were there for the right reasons, and they were telling us, thank you for being here, helping out, keeping the city safe, because, everything was boarded up at that time because they were, destroying everything that they could in the beginning. And then there were the people that were there to cause the destruction, that didn't want us there, that were, yelling at us, everything you can think of under the sun. It was just, and it was so unexpected. I never expected to be hated so bad by American citizens. I was in during 9/11, so it was such a different vibe all of a sudden to be in our own country and have, just terrible things said to us at that time.
Oh my God, I know. You were. I mean, did you felt at all that you were placed? I mean, this is. I mean, I know there's some people that will feel that it's not or it is. But did you feel kind of like I was about to say, felt awkward? Like, you guys know that we're in your military, right? And we're supposed to be doing here. Did you ever like tell these individuals, hey, look, did anybody want to listen? Were you able to do any face-to-face engagements?
A little bit, yeah. There's some people that were kind of asking initially, like, why are you here? And at first we, we're kind of like, I'm not quite sure, other than we're here to stop any violence that we see occurring. But yeah, we were able to talk to some people didn't want to listen. Some people just wanted to be heard. You know how it is. And then there were some people, I remember a conversation with a younger, well, I don't even know if you'd call it a conversation, a younger girl that said something. She turned around and like looked at me and she's like, what are you going to do when this goes down in history? Who are you going to say that you fought for and stuff?
Oh,
and
man.
Like, America? Like,
oh, man. That's...
We're here for the whole country.
Yeah.
So.
Isn't that... see that... Trying to throw the freaking guilt trip shit at you and stuff. I mean, oh yeah. By the way, you could if you manage to drop a couple of F-bombs or shit, you don't have to worry about it. No one's gonna censor us or anything like that. So, and when you
I would never.
No, never. We never do. Well, usually it's Facebook is the one that censors us, but we always recover. So what was your feeling when you got told that? I mean, I would be like, how'd you feel?
I think you can see in the book how I'm just shocked at this stuff. I just was really unprepared for it. I just don't think anybody really knew what to expect when they put us in this situation. So it's not like we had prior briefing or intel, because it just all happened so fast. And then as it went on throughout the weeks and stuff, it became, you just got used to it somewhat. I mean, you can never quite get entirely used to it. And I don't know, maybe I'm probably a little more sensitive than some of the other people, because I'm just not around this type of thing. I'm a suburban mom, this is just not my normal security detail type thing. I work on the airfield.
Right.
So I had a couple of the Army guys that were, they're like, just be stoic, just don't listen to them, tune it out. And I'm just, okay, I'm gonna try, but I'm not a very stoic person. too awkward for that.
Wow. Speaking of which, was there anybody there from senior leadership to kind of reassure you, aside from who you were there with?
Yeah, I mean, eventually, as the first night we didn't, like I said, we were just kind of thrown in, and as people were seeing what was happening, the armory where we were stationed out of in D.C., as the days went on, they started setting up tables, and I kind of describe it in my book, where, all of a sudden we have like a nursing station where you could get, medication if you needed it. And then there was like all these little help pamphlets, like, are you feeling kind of low and stuff.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, a little bit, but no, it's not funny. But it was just, after a while, they started realizing this is crazy. This isn't just, typical, like, direct traffic. There's a lot of other stuff going on here. So they did bring in support and Girl Scout cookies, so that helped a lot too.
Well, you know what? You bring up a good point. It also is to our psyche, how we deal with stuff. Like you just said, hey, don't be butthurt, don't be low if you need anything in your middle of civil unrest, and you just laughed at it. I'd have laughed too. I'd have been like, there's freaking riots. You want me not to be low?
Yeah, it's not. Obviously, no, it's not a joking thing. But in that moment, you're just kind of like, really, a pamphlet right now? But
no, it's funny because I would have laughed too. I would have chuckled. I'm like, are we gonna? You should have given those pamphlets to the writers. Are you feeling low? Right? Are you okay? Are you feeling upset? What's bothering you right now? So with all that, I mean, you said, I mean, the timing and the events. Did you think about all the COVID stuff and the pandemic? I mean, did you think about all, because we were just getting ready to get heated up on the plague. Everyone's starting to freaking close things down. People are freaking out about all that stuff. What were you thinking on that end?
Well, the first couple of days, the first day or two, they're like, wear your mask all the time. They're checking your temperatures. You're coming in and out. But we were on the streets in riot gear, which is like an extra 80, 100 pounds of gear when it's like 90 degrees. And we were dying anyway in our combat boots, everything. So we're so hot. By the end of it, we're just like throwing our masks off and stuff. Because it was like that so took a back seat compared to everything else that was going on in that moment. And I'll tell you, after like the second week of it, I couldn't even believe that COVID was still going on. I was so far removed from it because something bigger had taken so much more of our attention at that time. And then after we were done, I was like, oh, yeah, I guess COVID's still going on. And, we should probably get a test because we've been around so many people.
I was about to say, did they conduct any protocols when you got there or after?
Yes, definitely. Like I said, they took your temperature every day and you're like, oh, okay, that's helpful. Like when you go into, any appointments or anything. So, and then when we were done, everybody had to get a COVID test to make sure you're good to go and stuff. So they definitely, they emphasized it as much as possible. But when you're out there in the middle, having a brick thrown at you, you're not really thinking about COVID in that moment so much.
No, you're not. You're definitely not thinking about it. So what made you? What made you decide to write a book? What was the?
Well, my main motivation for it, in the middle of it all, when everything was happening, my family and my friends were asking me, all kinds of different questions and stuff, and they were like, "Is this true? I heard this, and is this true?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, no, that's not true at all." The media was just completely out in left field from what was really occurring down there and some of the things that you'd hear in the rumors that were going around. And so my whole goal with it in writing this was to be like, look, I don't know what was happening on the other side of the country, but I can tell you what I saw right here. And so I didn't want to write anything in there that I did not see myself with my own eyes, because I'm so sick of fake news and so sick of media blowing things up irrationally. And so that was
that's really why we wanted you to come on to talk about it too, because is there anything that really stood out? I mean, again, I don't want to spoil the movie. I want people to buy your book, or to get your book, but is there something that really stood out to you that you weren't able to capture on paper? That
I wasn't able to?
Yeah, well, I mean, because I know there's some things that when I know most authors, most writers, they'll like, I wanted to put this in the book, but there was just so much happening, I couldn't put it on paper. Did you have anything like that happen to you?
I think just the emphasis on they said how they wanted us, or they portrayed us as we were coming into the city. The media did, just storming the city. Armed military is coming in and taking over, and we weren't armed at all. Security probably had something, but I didn't even have pepper spray out on the streets and stuff. Oh, so I was trying to convey that where we were, and how our missions actually were, and I hope it came across appropriately. And my main goal too is trying to write it as unbiased as possible, and then that's like not always easily done, but I wanted to be like, okay, this is what happened, what I saw, and this is how it affected me, but kind of formulate your own opinion. I try to keep my opinion out of there as much as possible. So
now, did you see anything that could be, you could possibly say, hey, this is not your normal? I mean, because like you were saying, the media was formulating a big scenario that these were just people who were just good to go, and calling up the military was just antagonizing them, and that's why they're throwing bricks. Is there something that you can give a sense of the feeling when you first got there?
Well, yeah, okay. So one of one of the things that goes back to the first day. About a week later, after it had started, I was on the street working the street duty, and just kind of monitoring traffic coming in and out. And one of the security guards, or I should say, Secret Service guys, came up to us as we were sitting there in our Humvee on the street corner. He showed his badge and he's like, "Hey, sorry, I don't want to bother you guys, but I want to let you know I'm Secret Service, and anytime I see military, I just want to come up to you and thank you, because that first day we didn't know if we were going to make it. Like, they were throwing bricks at us, and all I could hear was, throw it at the tall guy, throw it at the tall guy." And he's like, I didn't know what I was going to do. And so, thank you for coming and helping us out. We just really appreciate it. So that was the vibe of the initial day, how it kind of kicked off, I guess you might say.
What was their psyche like? What was their, they were kind of, I mean, because the whole thing is that you have a boss, and the boss just happens to be the individual that everyone can't stand, but you know what I mean? So what was their vibe like? Can you give us a little bit of Secret Service insight? How were they feeling about it? I mean, not the feelings towards the boss, but what was their take on it? What were they able to give you some sort of, hey, look, here's the scenario?
Well, between the Secret Service, because I had the privilege of getting to know FBI. I got to work with FBI. I got to work with SORT guys. I got to work with the DAA and all the different teams. So that was really cool. The general consensus, how I would describe, especially the Metro Police, the Capitol Police, and the Secret Service, the guys who are there from the beginning. I say guys generically, because I'm from up north. So they were...
We say guys too. It's all right. We know guys is guys. We can guys. There's an intermix of women and men in guys when the term guys is being saying guys, like saying dudes or something like that. Yeah, we got you. You got you. You don't have. Yeah, we're not going to go.
I have to clarify. No, they were just. They were just so tired. Like they had been through so much. I mean, they were. This one policewoman that I was speaking to, she had been on straight for 3 weeks, 12-hour days, and just without a break at all. And she hadn't even seen her kids. It was just, they were tired. This had been going on for a long time for them already. I mean, we were tired, but they had been doing it longer than us. So,
that's another thing too. Some of the when I saw some video where people were bringing children to this type of shit. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm. I did. And if there's anything, I mean, that was crazy. And I even had a couple friends say, like, "Oh, this is so historical. I would bring my kids there." And initially going up there, I thought, like, "Oh, this is cool. I'm going to be part of history. We're going to help, blah, blah, blah." It wasn't like that. Like, perhaps it was historical, but not in the way you'd think. We were hoping to make a difference in a positive way, but there was so much of the negative intertwined in there. So the messages that were coming across, we just, protesters after protesters, these big waves of them would come down the street in front of us, and they'd be chanting different things, and you'd see some signs, and some signs were really, thought-provoking and impacting. And then by the end of the parade, it's like they almost evolved to just F Trump, and they were chanting that and yelling that, and the stuff that they were saying, I couldn't imagine having my kids around that, because it was just, I mean, they'd be yelling F the police, F12,
yeah. No, I can imagine. I could imagine.
I can imagine having my kids in that.
I was about to say, I could imagine what's being said. I couldn't imagine, or I couldn't even. Why would you even bring? Because there were some people that were like, "Oh my God, the cops are attacked." Because at first, I mean, I think some of the caged had to have been staged incidents. When as these protests started happening, you really started seeing individuals almost like they wanted their kids to get involved in some of this shit, so that way it can have a negative light on the cops. Did you get that impression, or was that? Or maybe I'm being too. Is that too freaking conspiracy theorist or?
No. I mean, I can see where you're coming from. And I definitely, you can see the ones who maybe want to be more of a victim in a lot of this. Other than there's a little bit of everything out there.
No,
right?
I hear you. With that, did you see anybody that obviously, I mean, any Secret Service individuals coming out saying there's some? I mean, because were you able to identify who the audience was, or who were the participants were? Were they giving you any, at least some sort of intel or information like that of who was involved?
So we had, I mean, there were a little bit, but I didn't in particular see anything. That's another thing. Like, I don't want to say anything that I didn't see. Like, yeah, Antifa could have been there, but there were definitely things that we were hearing all around, but I personally didn't see that. So I don't want to speak about that.
No, I understand. No. Only because of all the, I mean, because you have eyes and ears on the ground, and you were like the one that was like, you were there, you were on the other side.
Right.
What facilities did you guard? What were the monuments that you secured? What was the where were you able to, I guess, protect? I mean, if that's a good way to say it.
So the first night I started off on the Washington Monument. A bunch of us came and surrounded that. And it was weird. We just get out of the bus and we're in all this gear, right? And bulletproof vests and helmets and everything. And we're coming into the monuments and surrounding them. And it's kind of like, this is different. You know, it was pretty quiet out there at that time. But they had people stationed all around the city. And then later into the night, one of the commanders came by and he's like, "You 5, go down to the MLK monument." So I ended up going down there with a group of us, and the FBI came to meet up with us later. So we were most of the time we were stationed with other people that had weapons with them. We, like I said, did not. But then later in the night, the FBI were like, "Oh, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, time for us to go to bed." So they took off, and we're 5 of us still sitting out there at the MLK monument. Like,
oh shit! No, they did not. Anyway, they swing by to. I mean, what was the military structure like? Who was in charge? Who was the? Did they have like some sort of sergeant major running around there saying, "Make sure you get off the grass" or something like that, or is there? Did you have anybody?
There were a lot of captains on that ship. There were, because you got to think the Army was being combined with the Air Guards and commanders coming in from all over the country, where we were having guards coming in. So there were a lot. It was a very good exercise for should this happen again. And we weren't sure with the election what was going to happen with that. So everybody, we're a lot more prepared now as a whole. I think they kind of got the ducks in a row. Who needs to be in charge and how we would handle it in the future. I mean, we have the inauguration coming up too, which we've always participated in as the DC Guards. So that could be interesting too. Maybe there will be more stories out of there. Who knows?
I was just about to ask you, and you just answered it. So you have a high probability you're going to be guarding. You're going to be using. Now with that, are you going to be armed? Or are they going to let you have? I mean, is that cool to talk about on the air? Or
I'm an airfield manager. They're not going to give me a gun. they shouldn't give me a gun.
What the hell is an airfield manager doing in a riot? That's what didn't give you any extra training or something like that. What did they say? They go, "Okay, Julia, here you go. Enjoy it." What am I supposed to do with it?
They taught me how to hold my shield and how to march, and so we were very defensive, not so much offensive. But yeah, I mean, we had quick little Riot for Dummies 101 training out on the field before we were in there. But yeah, it was nothing like anything I'd done before. I signed up for the Air Guards. So I was going to help with natural disasters and work out on the airfield. So it was different, but it's our city, so this is what we do.
No,
we protect our city.
I hear you. There was were you, or did you hear around, there was the incident where there was a medevac helicopter that was hovering just over a crowd? Did you witness that? Did you hear about that?
I actually did see that. Like one of the nights in there, I mean, it was circling. I didn't see it hovering necessarily right over me, but there were definitely some helicopters flying low. It was weird. Some of the times in there, and actually, so little side note, I had 5 other contributors of Air Guardsmen that gave me some of their stories. So you see a little bit of what was happening in different places too, rather than just my story. And one of my friends wrote that it felt when that was happening, like, wow, this kind of feels like a war zone as we have this helicopter hovering over and stuff. So I'm not even entirely sure what was going on there, but
that brings me to the next question. So how is your book written out? How is it laid out? Can you give us a little peek of how it's written?
Okay, so I had a fabulous co-author who helped me put everything together. He did all the dirty work, the research and the timelines of what was really going on and the news stories and stuff. And I pieced in my story as I was on the street here this day and the next. And so we kind of did it chronologically. So we put it together, and then intertwined in there, you have a little bit of backstory, like how did we get here? And then also intertwined in there were the other stories of the other guardsmen, as I spoke about. So a little bit of everything. It's, just kind of some good stories in there, and in my opinion, unbiased, of course.
Of course. What was the what was the rank demographic like? Who are these guys that you were more? Is your rank? Because it's kind of weird. Did you talk to your PA before you came on here to talk about the book? How did the government what was their reaction? Because I know you have to go through some sort of vetting process to get a book. Did you ask a Navy SEAL to help you out on the book? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, SEAL Team 6.
Go ahead.
I kept it very high level. I changed most names. There's a little disclosure in there, so all of my opinions do not reflect the military. It's completely my personal opinions and stories. So that's my disclosure.
Okay, yeah, because I'm about to say that's why we had disclosure during the break that everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is the opinion of the person that said it and not the reflection of yada yada yada. So you could say the same thing too. What was your chain of command's reaction when they're like, Julia, you're gonna do what? What was their reaction to it?
I did have a moment where there's a little bit of concern, but I think it was just because they didn't know exactly where I was going with this and how it's going to be. But most of my coworkers and my immediate chain. I was there with my master sergeant. She was amazing. So a lot of my stories have her involved, and she's the lead of our shop and stuff. So she was kind of my leader that helped me out through a lot of it. So she was very aware that, I'd be taking little notes in my cell phone and writing down these quotes as I would hear them and stuff. Because, some of it was too funny. Like, I just didn't want to forget. Because I had to sprinkle humor throughout there because that's, part of our coping mechanisms when it was just so ridiculous. We had to laugh about it. So. Right,
of course. No, I would have been laughing my ass off the whole time if I was. I tried to come out of retirement to go join it, but it would have been, it was just, I couldn't imagine. There were some scenes there. There was some of the instances where they made it sound like this was, oh my God, this is chaos, and oh my God, this is this, and then you would see a picture of just somebody sitting or standing on the steps or just like whatever.
Yep.
Was there?
And there was a little bit of all of that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Did you have now after everything started dying down a little bit? Did you see? Was there any real damage? Can you give us a kind of like a preview or purview of what damage was done to any of the monuments that you were aware of?
Well, I know one of those first nights, the Lincoln Memorial was all vandalized. It was all graffiti sprayed all over and stuff. So one of the night, which the Lincoln Memorial of all, really, come on,
right?
But they, the Utah National Guard spent one of the nights cleaning it all up the next day, so it was good to go. So there were people working around the clock, these guardsmen from all over, helping out, cleaning up. But the city, it's even now when I drive through there, it's still a little unrecognizable. Everything's still boarded up, and the fence is just lined with signs and stuff, and some of that is quite moving. Some of the signs and the impacting things that are written on them. So like that's what's kind of conflicting about it. There's like the ones that are trying to make the change, be heard, their voices are heard. We need to stop this. Nobody thought what happened to George Floyd was okay.
Of course.
So but then there were the people that took it to a whole nother level and of destruction. And so you see some parts of that still in the city. And now they completely have the White House. There's a big old wall around it. And so it's not really the recognizable city at this time. And then plus a lot of it's due to COVID, you know, everything's shut down too. Mix that in there on top of it all. It's weird.
Did anybody in your
time?
Yeah, I can imagine. So you didn't see any like the MLK or the World War II Museum? I saw a picture. I think of the World War II Museum had a graffiti on like a pillar or something like that, but I didn't see the whole picture. They didn't show the whole picture. I was just wondering if did they make you?
Yeah,
guys...
no. I didn't see anything like that. Now it could have happened. So that's another thing, the fake news that was going around. There were apparently some old pictures from, I don't know, decades ago or whenever, when things were jacked up then. They're like, look what they've done. So really, everybody was following social media at that time. I mean, you had stuff from both sides, like conservatives, liberals, that were just throwing all this fake news out there that, it was igniting the fires even more than they already were. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that's happening, and back and forth. And there was so much of that going on. It was ridiculous.
Well, I don't. We did the same thing while it was going on, or right before that. There's a lot of the vet bros, man, that were bro vets or whatever you want to call them, that were getting, like you were saying, they were getting old pictures of monuments that were broken or whatever from a long time ago, and it just felt like, oh my god, dude, this happened back in 2008, or this happened back in whatever. Were you guys getting that? Like, were you able to look at social media and you saw that on your phone, thinking that was happening now?
Yeah. No, we did. We saw some of that, and it's kind of, it's discrediting, because there was the crap that was going on, but then when you put fake stuff up there, then it kind of discredits your whole story. Like, oh, it's all made up and not real. So, yeah, there's a lot of that.
Now you're in the Guard, so are you an AGR, or what do you do on your? Like you said, you just on your off time. What do you do on your when you're not guarding? When you're not doing the guardsman stuff, what is your what's your job?
So, my day job. Yeah. So I actually continue what I did in the Navy, in a sense that I work on the P-8, which is the successor to the P-3 that I used to fly in the Navy.
Oh,
so
wow.
We do,
so you work on the Poseidon, is what you work on.
Yeah.
The Poseidon,
I do.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I work foreign military sales for the Poseidon.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've served with the joining units that did work with the P, with the Orion is what they,
yeah.
So I did work. Yeah, I did work with some of them, with them flying squids, working on that. The Poseidon, is like what, the jet version of the prop one.
Yes, exactly. It's like a souped up 737.
Yeah. Now you've been doing so basically. Wait, did you say you did foreign military sales? So you work for the State Department then?
Yeah, I'm a contractor, but
oh, okay.
I work for the Department of the Defense.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. That's as a contractor. Holy shit. That's like big. Yeah. That's a big deal. So can you talk about who we selling the Poseidon to? or is that proprietary, or you can't really say that? I'm sorry. I'm just messing with you. I didn't want to. I don't want you to feel awkward.
I work with the United Kingdom. They're our allies.
Oh, okay.
We're good to go.
Oh, right. Oh, I'm about to say that must be fun to work with them. I know one of our staff members works on aviation stuff too. So, and I always love hearing his stories, or when he drops something in a chat, or he talks about it in station chats. And I love that type of stuff. That type of work is incredible. So are you guys? It's obvious you guys are prepped to go. You talked about lessons learned. Are they going to give you guys more training? Are they going to do some more training for you guys? Because, you're
yes.
airfield manager. I'm just saying. Are they? Do you know what is it you think is going to improve, or what did they tell you that they were going to do for you?
Yes, definitely lessons learned along the way. And I should put out there, like, I'm speaking for myself, because they were very very trained Army guys. That this is their jam. This is what they do. They're ready for war, going in and doing whatever they need to do. They were the ones who were kind of helping us out, like, hey, hop in my Humvee and let me drive you into the city. And we're like, okay, this is weird.
So in other words, you don't. I forgot. The Air Guard is the Air Force version of the National Guard. So
Yes.
you're not.
Yeah, we're a department of the Air Force.
Yeah.
And so, which is really, I mean, it's badass in itself. Like I sound like well, there's the chairperson side of it all.
Yeah, exactly. But no, you just said that's a Humvee. What is that doing here? Why is it parked on my freshly cut greens that I'm about ready to putt on? Is that what you're saying?
So there's that. Now, however, we're launching and taking off the F-16s, right? So that's pretty badass, right? In their own way. We just,
right.
I just don't know Humvees and LMTVs and all those.
Right. Well, I bet. Well, did you know now? I bet you know now. I bet you know now what those vehicles are.
I sure do.
Yeah, I'm about to say now you know. Now you know what the machines are, and then you can go ahead and. So, are they going to send you to any advanced plowing through Crown School or something like that? It must be different. It must be weird that you're, like I said, you're doing this as a guards and as an Air Guards person, soldier, married guardsman, and you're working with. You've never seen this shit before. Not only have you never seen this shit before, but you're seeing stuff that you're not supposed to be seeing as as airfield manager, and now you're about ready to do some training that could be. Is it out of your lane? Do you feel like it's out of your lane?
No, I just think it's another great experience to put in the books. Really, literally. No, it's definitely new and it's nothing I've done before. However, it doesn't mean we can't do it, and it's pretty cool. We'll have a little more experience with it now, so we'll know a little more for the next time. And I know how important it is to pick the Humvee that has the air conditioning in it.
You're so freaking Air Force. Gotta make sure we have that. It's gotta have the AC. Here I'm thinking about you're about ready to talk about a weapon system like the Crow's automated turret. You're talking about something that's ballistic, tactical, and all that. And you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure we pick that Humvee with the AC. So what was your family's reaction to all this? What were they thinking about?
Oh, it was they were worried a little bit, of course, because nobody really knew what was happening at the time and what we were facing. So I have 3 teenagers, and they were really helpful, and my husband was great. He, holding down the fort, and I had a great little village of friends taking care of the kids, and I mean everything. They were just like, just go, between my husband and the friends, we'll take care of everything. We got it. So I'm lucky that way.
And your parents or your relatives outside of your immediate family, what were they thinking?
Yeah, same thing. Everybody was just, really supportive. My work was amazing. They're like, don't worry about it. We got this. We'll take care of it. Just do what you got to do.
Right.
So, good support system.
Well, you sounded pretty chipper. Like you actually sound enthused. I don't want to say you want to have more riots, but you sound more enthused about getting ready to do, because the inauguration, man. What have you? I mean, can you get into a little bit of what exactly they're prepping? What are they going to do? How many people are going to get ready to go? Because they have to release that stuff later, anyways. But can you give us a sneak peek?
And I mean, we do it every inauguration. The DC Guard is always a part of it. One of our missions, but just security detail. We're on the streets. Again, all hands on deck. It's the Navy and me. Everybody's out there. Everybody's just making sure the streets are running smoothly, I guess. And if they're not, then we call somebody that has a gun. Just kidding.
Call somebody with the gun when they have a gun. If somebody else has a gun, is that what you're saying?
Exactly, because we don't have our guns.
Right. So what are the units that you see there, though? I mean, who else? Was just like you were saying, it's the DC Guard. That's all they have is what? Just, I mean, they just grabbed everybody. They didn't really worry about specific MOSs or specific career fields. They just said, hey, everyone's got to go. So, like you said, all hands on deck. Was there anybody like okay, the MPs would show up, or the artillery guys would show up, or the infantry guys show up? All right, desk jockeys, we're good. Y'all can go back. Was there any of that?
No, honestly, I didn't even know what half the people did. And as far as I was actually on the street with a couple of the finance guys, believe it or not. And and then we were put together with a couple Army guys, and then we were with also the DEA. So they had like just a mixture of all of us in there. So it was just, it's extra hands, directing traffic, which I'm terrible at, by the way, I learned. And they had a little bit of just the guards, or the DEA would be, kind of telling us how we need to run this or that, because this is the kind of stuff that they're used to. I mean, they're used to taking down drug cartels, and this is nothing compared to the stuff that they've seen. So it was a really perfect mixture of everybody, and it's amazing how well we did all come together in that. That was definitely one of the good things, and I parts of it were painful. Like I said, the sleep deprivation, the just, not really knowing initially what everything was going on. But definitely one of the good things was all the great people that I worked with and got to know just in a day. After, a 12, 18-hour day, you really get to know somebody, and there's some great people.
Yeah, I was about to say that's usually memories are made in the suck, not in the airfield.
Yeah, that's a great expression.
You can definitely you probably networked with some good friends too afterwards, because that was big. Now, I know one of our. I remember somebody asking about this before. Did you get to see the IRS burn down? Did that happen? Did any of that? Did the IRS go? Somebody said that the IRS building went down. Is that true?
I did not see that, and in fact, I was near the IRS building a couple of the days. It did not go down on my watch, so I don't know when that happened or if that happened. Not when I was there.
Darn, taxation is theft. We always say that. We always like to use that coin here. So what's next for you though? Are you gonna stay in and still be in the Guard? You're not planning on getting out. You're just gonna this is for you gonna be something that you're gonna go on for the long haul.
Yeah, I have at least a few more years of this enlistment.
Right.
We'll see where I'm at in 3 years.
Right.
No, I enjoy it, and I work with a great group of people, which that either makes it or breaks it. So, and it is kind of fun, the fact that we can be thrown into anything. I mean, we're supporting places like Puerto Rico. A bunch of them were down there last year after the hurricanes there. It's always something different every year, every day. I don't know. So I do like that factor of it, and the camaraderie, being part of the military still, which is part of the reason I got back in, because I kind of missed that part.
Yeah, somebody who's out myself, I miss it too. I definitely like to go back and do that. But then I read something we got in the inbox, and I don't want to go in anymore. So then I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm kind of glad. I'm kind of glad I can just like look at the ceiling when it's when my eyes automatically open at 6 o'clock. I'm like, yes, I don't have to. I ain't gotta wake up. So what's the plans for Thanksgiving? Did they do anything are they gonna do anything for COVID? Are they gonna be like is there any COVID enforcement happening? What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Oh gosh, well, where I'm at in Maryland, there's all kinds of enforcements happening and just in the military in general, like everything, don't travel unless it's essential, and so yeah, I'm probably not going far for it at this point.
Yeah, are you gonna? Did you already get your? Did you already get your turkey thawed? Because we just talked about thawing turkey. So did you already thaw your turkey, or are you just gonna hang out with some friends and cook together, or how are you gonna do it?
Well, my sister's doing the turkey. I actually am bringing a ham too for those that don't like turkey. So my ham is thawed. So don't worry, we're good to go.
That's awesome. Well, hey, Julia, thank you so much for hanging out, and we appreciate you shooting the shit with us, and Can you tell us a little bit? Can you tell us about how'd you get linked up with Tactical 16?
So I actually have a previous book that I wrote about 4 years ago. That was my memoirs about being when I was in the Navy. So in a rate that had just been opened up to women, combat air crew. So I wrote about that, and Tactical 16 was my publisher then. They're an amazing veteran-owned publishing company, and their main goal is to publish veteran story. A lot of it is therapeutic writing and helping veterans out that way. So I really believe in this company. It's great. So then this book came about, and I went through them, and they're like, yeah, this is a great story that should be told and put out there. So
yeah,
they're amazing.
This is you did a really good job. Like Kaz said in the chats, this is a really a quick, short time to do it. And you must have been really, like really, chopping away at the note writing there to get it done quick.
Yep, we were fast tracking that one for sure.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna agree with Kaz in the chats. Tactical 16 is a great avenue to get, published for the military author. Working with, because we've had Tim Clone and Eric Shaw on from before as well. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so those
I adore Eric.
Oh yeah, great guys. But again, anything you want to say before we take off?
No. Well, thank you so much for having me. It's been so much fun, and yeah, you can find our book on tactical16.com or Amazon. Leave us a review, only if it's good, of course. No, I'm just kidding. I want to hear it all. Appreciate all the support, really.
Okay.
So, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for coming on, Julia Maki, author of a Tactical 16 book, Guardians, a story of the 2020 civil unrest in Washington, D.C. And you can grab that book off of eBay. Just go on there and you can drop the chips. It's under $30. So some of y'all need to read anyways. So at any rate, we'll be right back. We're going to go ahead and take a break and shots.
Is there a reason for us to make this thing still stay alive? As you turn away and fade, mistakes that we have made separate the distance between you and me's what brought the hate. But I can break these chains and bind us down. You think you know true pain, but always walk a narrow line. And everything that you have, you will pay back in time. As you turn away and fade, mistakes that we have made separate the distance between you and me's what brought the hate. But I can break these chains and bind us down. All the things that you thought one day would come true, I am taking, and it's all because of you. As you turn away and fade, mistakes that we have made separate the distance between you and me's what brought the hate. But I can break these chains and bind us separate the distance between you and me's what brought the hate. But I can break these chains and bind us down.
Wear a condom? We're in Fayetteville. No one gets STDs here.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Yeah, hang on, stand by. Well, we're back with the last part of our show. But anyways, thank you so much, Julia, for hanging out. We totally appreciate your visits, and awesome. I can't wait to read the book. I got a bunch of books that are freaking stacked right now of individuals that have given me books or given us books from the station. And I literally have a stack, to include some gift books. I have a stack of them that I'm still getting through, and what I'm doing is like I'm getting through certain of them. If I get to a dead point, I'll pick up another one. I'm almost done with the Burn-In book though, because that book is freaking awesome. But anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you saying?
I was like, so what's going on with the Kennedy?
Oh, Kennedy. Okay, Kennedy. All right, Kennedy.
Any relation to other Kennedys?
No. So Kennedy. I'm glad. So on social media, I've been goofing around and like joking around with different celebrities just to kind of get them on the show or generating or whatever. I you know, there are some that are. I mean, I literally am just I get like stuttered. I stutter big time when I think about the individuals that I just think they say something funny and I'll go, oh yeah, that's so cool. And they respond. And I go, oh my God, they responded. Well,
like the original Ice.
Like the original Ice. The original Ice. When he responded to one of my tweets, I was like, oh my God, what do I do? And I was all happy. Because it's Ice-T, man. The original Ice. Mark Hamill has done this. Gabriel Luna has done this. The Terminator. I mean, so this is like legit. On the legit individuals and all that. Well, I listen to other podcasts only for tips and only for, you know, to talk to other people and or just, like I said, to get leads on other guests and all that. CQ, well, you too, it's all your fault too. You guys are the ones that are telling me that I need to go out and do more stuff. Well, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, we used to have a skit. And the reason why I'm talking about this is Kennedy is an old school. You remember back in the day when MTV did a hang on, I'm like double recording. Do you remember when MTV did? You know, they had their VJs, their video jockeys. They're like, instead of DJs,
yes,
they had
when
VJs.
they actually played.
They actually played music. Yeah, and they had Martha Quinn, they had Kurt Loder, and they had Kennedy. When I was growing up, whoa, Kennedy, right? I was listening to one of her podcasts. And she was talking about on her podcast about sex robots. And I was just listening to it, no big deal. And then she's like, oh, you know what? Blah, blah. And she just started talking about sex robots. I couldn't stop laughing. I literally died freaking laughing because we used to have a skit on WTF Nation Radio, and it was Sex Robot. Right, it was Sex Robot, and oh my God, we could not. It was one of those things. So again, being the way I am, I just kind of like, well, let's see what happens if I drop the skit song, the song that we used to play for the skit, and it was called Sex Robot. So she was talking about Sex Robot on her podcast, and so I dropped this song. Sex Robot, Sex Robot, Sex Robot, Sex Robot, Sex Robot, Sex Robot, coming to your town. So, okay, so that's the song that I dropped on Kennedy's timeline on her tweet, and everyone was rolling at it, and she liked it. She was like, again, I had that moment of fucking Kennedy. God, she's a goddess, man. She's a goddess, man. But yeah, so a shout out to the old school, everybody who was working a few years back. It was a skit called Sex Robot, and we were laughing on it so hard. We were
crying.
Yeah, oh my God, we couldn't stop because we were talking about sex robot stuff before, and it was like me, Raptor 7, you, Jim Beam, friggin' Red Leg. We were all like, it was one of those. It was back in the old days. It was like. And so Jim pulls this song out.
He was good for that.
He was good, yeah. Exactly. So it's like, oh, I gotta drop this on Kennedy's timeline. Sex robot. Sex robot. Sex robot. So thank you, Kennedy. I feel honored that you had at least looked down at me to say I will like your comment and accept that on your timeline. So it was awesome. So it was a moment for me. But anyways, it was fun. So, real quick, we're not going to have a show throughout the week. However, we will have posted events. We will have pictures, videos, things that are going to go on in the station. U.S. Army WTF moments, of course. So you'll see some stuff that's from the radio station being put on the main page. But other than that, we're not going to have any shows up until probably like Friday. Friday cause may or may not come on.
It's up in the air.
It's up in the air. So, but again, you guys know you'll get notified on the WTF Nation Radio Facebook page, and then you'll see it tweeted up. And I am one of those things that I can just honestly say that if you guys need somebody to talk to, definitely talk to somebody. I mean, I just, it doesn't matter if it's for a few minutes. It's definitely or whatever. Definitely one of those things where you can sit there and say, hey, look, Hanny, you got a second or stuff like that, or someone's venting or talking about an event that's happened in their lives. I spent several hours speaking to a company commander. I've spent an hour or so talking to a first sergeant about stuff that has happened in their units, and just hang in there, guys. It's just one of those things to where be a voice. If someone asks you for advice, be honest about it. But also, sometimes you just listen. If you just listen, you'll be good to go. And sometimes, you believe it or not, that was a whole lot better than you not saying nothing at all or not being there when they need it.
And our inboxes are open.
Yeah, all of them.
I'm up all the time with COVID Carl. So.
Yeah, exactly. So again, don't hesitate to call. Just like exactly that, Gordon. Do a buddy check. I just you're just go ahead and there's no different. There's no other way to say it. Do it. Check your buddy. If you're a buddy if you're having a moment, especially one of Thanksgiving, a lot of individuals have that. I don't know. It's just hard to describe. It's really hard to describe sometimes to some individuals that hey, are you okay? And why are you doing this, or why are you doing that? Don't worry about it. If someone's saying you need to talk to you, or they're talking on a subject and they're obviously serious, let them talk. Don't say, oh, you're talking about suicide in your organization, or you're talking about, listen. Hey, sorry, you this is that one time where you said, hey, look, we need to stop talking about doing the push-ups and whatever.
Yes.
Then
a friend and I had this discussion the other day.
As far as what?
Sorry, the push-ups. Like, just sit there and listen. Like most of the time, you just want to listen. They just want you to listen. That's it. Don't do push-ups. Just be there. Listen.
Right. Exactly. Exactly that. My phone blows up all the freaking time. You get messages. You forward me emails all the time, Mom, and it's I when someone's like, yeah, I need to make sure I have this for the sleep cycle. You sleep? I mean,
not with the newborn.
Not with baby ice. I'm on the move, and individuals again are going to have some issues. They're going to have some situations in their lives. Just be there for them. Even if you have nothing to offer, just sit there and shoot the shit and hang out. Meanwhile, everyone thinks we're a bunch of freaking yahoos and fat E4s and part of the E4 mafia that just we're just a bunch of we're a bunch of, what was the last one? We were a bunch of, what was the other one? We were a bunch of homophobes, we're a bunch of transphobes, and we're a bunch of racists. That's what the last one we got. And I'm like, okay. But anyways, so again, no shows up until maybe Friday. And if that's the case, then congrats, you'll get a show. Then you'll be good to go, and it'll probably be cause. But during the week, you will have some information going out on events and all this other stuff. Do we have what's the? I'm trying to think if we have anything else going on other than.
What just besides the Honey and Team Rubicon?
Right. You guys saw the commercial, the little ads on Honey and working with Team Rubicon, U.S. Army, WTF Moments, and WTF Nation Radio, working with a nonprofit, Team Rubicon, along with Honey, and then you saw my bright bristly face on social media. I was like, I don't want to do this, and they're like, well, you got to show your face. I'm like, all right, I got a face for radio, but okay. Hi, welcome. No, I'm just messing. It just so really the only thing we got going on is just like some housekeeping, and so we've had a pretty good guest lineup. We've had Task Force Dagger, we had Julia come on today. There is no CQ, there's no Pop Culture Warrior tomorrow. So with that though, next week on the 30th of November, you ever watch that TV show Gold Rush? That's been going like on its 11th season? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. You get sucked into it first.
You do.
It's kind of boring.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's some episodes that are kind of but there was one guy who was clowning somebody on the guy's name's Parker. He's one of the competitive gold miners, and they called him like the Kylo Ren of gold mining. And I just lost it when he said that. I couldn't stop laughing because he kind of looks like Adam Driver. But anyways, Fred Lewis, he's a member of the Gold Rush team. He's going to be on the 30th of November to talk to me. And I'm going to say, Mom, great work. And also, I'm serious. You got a great big shout out to the Discovery Channel, and so let me tell you a story. The Discovery Channel reached out and talked to Mom, who is the executive assistant and chief of social media. Congratulations, by the way. And
Thank you.
And they were like, hey, we want to work at this. So you're like, hey, I just want to talk to you about having this guy from Gold Rush on. I'm thinking Gold Rush. I mean, like the Gold Rush. And you're like, yeah, Gold Rush. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. And I see the email train, and I see you emailing conversing with the second in command of the Discovery Channel. And I'm thinking, damn, Mom, go on with your bad self. Okay, good work. So yes, it is that Gold Rush on the Discovery Channel. He's going to be coming on. He's a veteran, and he's going to come on and talk about how he went from being Special Forces medic to mining gold. I'll be honest with you, I'm probably going to be a little bit giddy about it, just the fact that he's coming on to talk about the show, and I want to see what stuff he's going to be talking about for the show wise. So we'll probably cover some of his military background, but he's a veteran, and he's going to come out.
And I know like a lot because I watched the show
Right.
with COVID Carl's dad, and mainly his team is nothing but veterans too as well.
Yes, yeah, exactly that. And he's going to talk about that a little bit too. So, also, I saw some email traffic. Can I see this? Can I announce it? That the Discovery Channel, thanks to you, Mom, wants to do more stuff with us. I can't wait.
Mm-hmm. Same here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking, man, the other channels didn't really do anything for us. Can we talk about other channels? No, I'm. Hey, thank you, Discovery Channel. We appreciate it.
Just be humble.
I'm just be humble brag that the Discovery Channel would be willing to talk to us and shoot the shit about this. But wow, it's awesome. It's a good thing. So I appreciate it, Mom, for all your hard work to get Fred Lewis on. But again, going back on what I was saying. WTF Nation Radio, U.S. Army WTF Moments, We Are the Mighty, awesome shit, my drill sergeant said, All Warrior Network, and, Honey are working together to get, raise money for Team Rubicon. And like you saw in the commercial, you've been seeing on the downlinks and stuff like that. I'm not going to inundate you with all this stuff, but everybody knows that Team Rubicon, what they do is they go out and help individuals in crisis, impacted by the disasters and humanitarian crises that happen, and the campaign will continue until the 31st of December. So make sure you it's free. The link's inside if you go into Facebook or you look on Instagram. The link will be in the thing when you go to it, or you'll see it posted on several postings that we've had, and you'll see it added to this post tonight on U.S. Army WTF Moments. But do we?
And I'll just say this: like I've downloaded the Honey thing on my computer, and I'll be shopping. And it just pops up like, are you sure you want to buy it at this price? Like, pretty much it's like that.
It's like challenging you. It's like telling you.
Right.
It's like, oh, you want to buy it at that? You can find it cheaper somewhere. It's like telling you what to do type, But, yeah, it's...
he's like, do they offer next day shipping for free?
Exactly. But if you guys have anything that you want to talk about or something like that, hit us up in the inbox. Or contact at WTFNationRadio.com. If you have any music, we need to get more music, man. I mean,
I'm working on it.
We need to get more music. We need to get more bands. Me and Mom were just talking during the break that we need to get the Bayou Bandits to come on again and do another concert for us. That was an awesome thing that we did for, I think, what was it? Was it 4th of July or what was it Memorial? No, it was Memorial Day.
Memorial Day. I was kind of busy that weekend.
Yeah. It was Memorial Day. It was Memorial Day, and they did a concert for us, and we played it, and it was awesome. That was so we might be going back into negotiations to do something with them again because they kicked ass, and they're one of our favorite bands. But anyways, so with that, if you guys don't have anything for moi, you all have a good night, and man, I'll see you guys next week. After Thanksgiving. Yeah, and happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. And again, make sure you have a plan. If you don't know where you're going for Thanksgiving, ask somebody. Hey, if you don't know what they're doing, ask them. Hey, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? And get them a plate, or go to a DFAC and go hang out with the Joes if you're a leader. That would definitely make an impact to your soldiers if they see that.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, so y'all have a good night. And I think was it you that was telling me that I needed to do some sort of? You said that I needed to have like a closeout line or something like that, or some sort of tugging.
No,
who was it that said that?
Like to post on Facebook.
No, yeah, it was somebody. I think it was Spanky said I needed to have like a closeout, like I need to have a quote or something like that. But I mean, because it's just like I feel like I'm awkward when I say goodbye to you guys because I don't know how to say it. I don't want to have to.
Because you just want to be like, okay, guys, fuck off. I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, I was been like, all right, guys, but is there a way? It's like trying to hang up. No, you hang up. Now you hang up. No, you hang up. I'll figure something out. But y'all have a good night, and thank you all for listening in.
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all take it easy. Shots.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Before glorious President Trump can assume the intergalactic throne, he surveyed the universe and said, let's make all of this our own. He commissioned a group of soldiers, take upon their shoulders a daunting task of relentless fear to make conquest of the last frontier. Now here we are enlisted for the glory of our nation. To say that we're the best would be an under-exaggeration. Prepared for combat with an alien race to kick their asses right in the face. Space Force, Space Force, we'll saddle up our intergalactic horse and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. They say that they've discovered life up there on Mars, so let's blow it all to hell and then claim it for ours. We'll paint the moon red, white, and blue for no other reason than we wanted to. Oh, Jupiter, imagine what you could become. A stupid, pointless planet turned into a giant gun. And Russia, so sorry, have to burst your bubble. Be a good sport now, sit back, relax, and watch us through the bubble as we celebrate the greatness of the United Planet of America. Space Force, Space Force, we'll saddle up our intergalactic horse and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Now we'll go to infinity and beyond, beyond. You'll hear all manly voices sing Space Force strong. The critics say sound doesn't travel in space, to which we reply sound will do as we say. Oh, Captain Kirk, your achievements, though notable and fine, as far as we're concerned, this is Deep Space Mine. And big fans, but Lord Vader, step away from the lightsaber. There can only be one, of course. Space Force. Ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum-dum-dum-dum, ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. Space intergalactic horse, and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.